If your family require your body to perform consistently on the mats for you to be able to pay your bills for the rest of your life, then I am genuinely very surprised in how many Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coaches do not take some of the fundamental things a little bit more seriously. The title of this video is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coaches do not eat enough food. As always on this channel, we do talk about the mindset first and then we get straight into tactics. Where I can, I will use real life examples from my clients on my program just to really bring everything to life, so it holds a little bit more weight and hopefully that you're more likely to take this into your own lives, because it's fucking important stuff, lads. The first thing, right? I don't need to know how many calories I am using. You just don't need. You don't think that it's beneficial. If you don't think that it's beneficial, you're not going to do it. But most people I speak to on the mats, and I'm actually asking them how much they're eating in the day, and I've been massive into nutrition for the best part of a decade, and almost like with fairly decent accuracy, this is not like a brag, but when somebody says a meal that they've had, I can kind of guess roughly what kind of calorie range that's actually in. When they're saying, oh, I had this sandwich, a bag of crisps, I'm like thinking, right, 400 calories for the sandwich, a packet of crisps or chips, it's like 200 calories, and a can of Coca-Cola, 180 calories. I'm kind of adding things up as they're explaining what they've actually ate. Now, if you know that you're teaching 10 sessions per week, 1 hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours, that's not even accounting for the off the mat stuff as well. You are burning a lot of calories. And I always use this as an example. If you take your top off and look at yourself in the mirror and you look frail and old and really small, your body has been probably eating itself alive. And what actually happens with regards to this, because I actually trained for this specifically about 10, 15 years ago, it's called being catabolic. It's where your body starts looking for energy. There's no energy in its body. So yeah, it might use the fat, but one thing it does before it goes to the fat, because the fat's the long-term energy reserves, it goes to the glycogen first, and whatever glycogen's left in the muscles, it'll use that, and then it'll actually start eating the muscles. And this is one of the reasons why you see most grapplers, they have very little muscle mass. Yeah, they might have a bit of fat stored, they have very little muscle mass, and it's because they're very malnourished. And it's a shame, because they would actually think that they eat a lot. Now, when they do grappling, it's like, yeah, maybe a midday session, they'll have something mid-afternoon, and then they'll do another session on an evening, and then they might have a meal on an evening. But then you're starting to get into these questions and these problems, because some people don't eat on an evening. So it's just less fuel. Your body is an absolute machine. You know, you're pretty much, as much as you hate to admit, you're pretty much a professional athlete. There's no doubt you are a professional athlete, right? You are getting paid and you are paying your bills by teaching other people jiu-jitsu. And you might think that you do certain things well. You might think that, you know, that massage once a month, or, you know, the sauna membership or the ice baths. If you can't get this right, you're just going to be up and down, up and down, up and down constantly for energy levels. And it shouldn't, and I'm saying this because it shouldn't be like that. And I'm saying this from experience of my energy levels consistent every day, and my clients as well. Like, we get this right on week one because it's so important. Like, we wouldn't want to neglect this in favor of, you know, a quick fix method like an ice bath or something. So, and I've seen this, loads of coaches that I've spoke to about this, they're probably eating about 50% of the calories that they need. And think about this. If you currently think that you have great energy, let's say on Tuesday, you're like, I have great energy, I feel great, but you're still only operating at 50%. Your ceiling of your personal ceiling of yourself is operating at 50%, even though there's still a hell of a lot of this. What I'm trying to say is this is potentially the quickest way you can feel amazing. I'm talking the turnaround within 2 or 3 days when you start eating an actual proper amount of food for the amount you're burning. So I'm going to go straight into an example because, again, if you're doing this for a living, you want to feel as well as you can on a regular basis. It's a very reasonable thing to ask for. You're not doing it for the next week. You're not doing it for the next month. You're trying to do this for the rest of your life, and you're not treating your body with that same level of responsibility. So I have a bloke here who teaches 10 sessions per week. 10 sessions per week, 10 to 15 hours per week, right? And he started my program start of April. So, 6 months ago. 6 months ago. 88 kilos, right? Very important number for me to work with on the day one. And yeah, energy, average, stress, recovery. Again, he was literally, he'd been on the program like 2 days. First day on the plan, yeah, and struggle to eat post BJJ. And this is a common thing that you struggle with. I can completely empathise with it. When you get back home, shower, you're now talking 8 p.m, 9 p.m. after an evening session. And that's if there's only one evening session. Like the timings of jiu-jitsu, and when you need to open your doors to bring potential business in, you need to fit in order to fit the typical person's 9 till 5 type of job. So that what it leaves you doing after you've cleaned the mats and everything, it leaves you at night potentially thinking about food because you're pretty hungry, but you're thinking, it's now a bit too late, isn't it? I might wake the kids up. It's a problem. I know you might not like to admit, but it's a genuine problem, and I hope to solve it and give you a bit of a wake-up call in this video. Anyway, they send me pictures, and I make a recommendation on a baseline amount of calories that he needs to eat. Now, on my program, I don't say, there's the numbers, lads, figure it out yourself. I literally write them a meal plan, and I'll show you his meal plan, where it is at today, because it has developed slightly and it has increased in calories. So, take this number, very important, and his body fat percentage. A calorie calculator will do predicted muscle mass and output. So, 2 very important data points for the calorie calculator to give you a predicted number. Run that predicted number, right? So, think about this, and I know you're probably guessing already how many calories you're eating in a day. 88 kilos, predicted body fat percentage 14 there, right? So he's got his predicted lean tissue, which is 75. Come down to activity, the activity multiplies. Activity creates a multiplier within his BMR, which is his basic metabolic calories output. Because he's a jiu-jitsu coach, and I could have said that he trains twice a day, but I thought, I'm going to be on a conservative side here, and I can make adjustments. So what I've done is I've said very active, hard exercise, 6 or 7 days a week. Now, for yous, that is a completely realistic multiplier. So 1.75 there puts his maintenance at 3,500 calories. Now, I know for a fact none of yous are eating 3,500 calories a day, maybe on a Saturday when you have a little bit of a binge, pizzas and ice cream or whatever with your missus. 3,500 calories every single day is a good lump of calories. Now, it doesn't stop there, because I ran him on 3,500 calories to start off with, right? Just to see where he sit with. He was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And you've seen on that first one, struggle to eat post BJJ. So you need to craft a meal plan in which is easy to consume as well. Do you know what I mean? So there is a bit of an art to this. With this bloke in particular, he actually wanted to gain a little bit of weight. He said he was starting to feel a little bit fragile. His joints were feeling a little bit weak. He wanted to put on a bit of muscle mass. Again, that's a really difficult thing for a lot of jiu-jitsu coaches, because they're burning that many calories. For them to build muscle and do jiu-jitsu, which is their job, is a very difficult thing to do. So if he wanted to gain 1% muscle mass, the calorie target goes up. However, this is where it leads to our first problem. On week 1, I can't barrage him with calories because I don't know what his ability to digest this food is like. So I don't do that. I give them a little bit extra to what they're used to, and then I creep it up. But there's one important data point that I need to utilize in order to make the correct change when it's required. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring up his meal plan. His meal plan at the moment is 5-1, right? And he's maintained his current weight. I'm going to rattle through this in a sec. Just thought I'd give you a little bit of an insight. But what I really want to bring to life here, right, is just how happy he was. I'm going to rattle through this to the start of April, because this happens all the time on my program. It's not that I'm a genius at this stuff. It's just get the basics right as early as possible, because if you've not been doing the basics, your life is going to change as soon as these basics get implemented. So June, he started in April. I think there's a holiday there, right? So we're going to look at his notes here, right? So he's setting up, couldn't fit in the food, right? And listen, right, I can remember this because it sat with me till this day. 6 months on, I remember. So he's still missing his meals. He's still missing his meals, right? Got all the food into gate today. This is 4 days in, feeling really good. Previously, I would generally have a nap before BJJ. The increase in calories has made me feel less tired in the afternoon. Could this be the reason? What else? Can defo feel the benefit of the increase in calories over the course of this week. Also, my ability to deal with stress. This is what he written. This is how quick his life changed. Who doesn't want more energy? Who doesn't want an ability to manage? Who would have ever thought getting your food right early would make your life less stressful? But if you think about it, let me just half your food and watch how much stress your life is. We're men at the end of the day, and if you're doing jiu-jitsu, twice a day, 5 days a week, if you can get the food right, you're going to feel miles better. You're pretty much a professional athlete. You should treat yourself like such. And what was the other point I'm going to say? You want to try and reduce the stress, increase the recovery, increase the energy. It's not like you're performing at the Worlds every week, do you know what I mean? You're coaching. There is a lot of being sat there and stuff like that. But come on, right? We're going to show you what he's eating now, right? Just to give you some context. And when I write the meal plans, so what I want you to take away from this is just how easy this food is to prepare. It's not complex. Easy to prepare, and he pretty much runs with this every day. So meal one, this is a big smoothie, by the way. So as you can see, 867 calorie smoothie. Oats, frozen berries, protein powder, peanut butter, banana. Absolute macronutrient fest. Who doesn't want to have that? You should be having that because you're teaching jiu-jitsu 10 times a week, lads. And eggs on toast. Sound. Rice, chicken breast, mixed veg, olives, olive oil. People think, right, halloumi cheese, people think meal plans and being healthy and treating yourself like a professional athlete has to be salads and shit food. This is not shit, this is great. Absolutely great. The only thing is it's foundational in logic, right? And the problem is men run away from data when they think it annoys them. I've made them this meal plan, and look at how good it is. Before the gym, before he lifts as well, so he's lifting as well, is oats, jam, raisins, 90 grams of carbs before he trains. And this is before weights. Post-gym, protein shake, almond butter, apple, and banana. Feasting. You're probably looking at this thinking, how the fuck am I meant to get all that in? Right, listen, remember what I said earlier on, right? And then he's got his evening meal, pasta sauce, chicken breast. He can swap out the meat as well with any different protein source, and then he's got yogurt, dark chocolate, raisins, Greek yogurt. Anyway, before you get too confused with that, let's go back to the slide. Go back to this one. What was I going to say? Yes, he didn't start on 5-1. He didn't start on 5,100 calories. I started him on 3.5. And then what I did is I'll show you back now the data. So obviously I've got the data as the foundation, and I'm going to talk about how you So I've told you how to conduct the calorie calculator, and I'm telling you how to build a meal plan based off this. I've told you about the make it as simple as possible. So you can literally go, right, chicken, right, or beef, or pasta, rice, oats, mixed berries, peanut butter, protein powder, just whole foods. If you're not used to eating these whole foods, and you're used to eating processed stuff like processed carbohydrates, it's just going to be up, blood sugar down, bread. Like, the thing is, if you're a jiu-jitsu coach, you can do all that. You can get away with it. You can get away. There's a lot of flexibility. However, the foundation has to be logical, and this is the problem, right? It's not too commonly. It's not, and you're operating at 50%. And I hope this video just goes, you know what? For 1 week, I'm going to listen to Greeny, right? Anyway, more on that in a sec. Just want to give you another quick look at this. It's nothing special, but it's not healthy. It's not like, of course it's healthy. It's whole foods, but anyway, the point I was going to make was his weight. Just keep that over his details. So you can see how he's held 95 kilos for multiple months. Now it's starting to creep up, yeah? So he's told me, he's like, you know what, I want to gain some weight. I want to be middle of the weight class, heavies. So I'm like, cool. So you can see me, he's still around. So I've left him. He was started at 88. I've put him on 3.5. And he's upped it, and then I've been on 4, and then I've crept it to 4.5, and then I've been on 5, and then we're happy days. We're plain sailing. So he's been on 5 since 95 kilo. So he's been on, I'm not going to up it. He's happy at his current weight. So, you know, for the past 3 months, September, October, November, he's been on 5,000 calories. I think even longer than that as well. So you don't start on 5,000 calories because you need to improve your body's ability to digest that much food. Because as much as you think that you're eating a lot, you're not. You're doing things emotionally. And another trick I'm going to give you is his food here, right? Is he doesn't have like dry oats and berries. This is a smoothie. How fast can you eat a smoothie? 30 seconds, that's gone with a cup of coffee. That's 860 calories. People think smoothies are healthy, but they don't realise just how easy like calories are to consume with a smoothie. So that's a smoothie. I think you can have the last one and maybe as a smoothie as well. And that's 1,400 calories that you're probably on, let's say 2,000. The government guidelines are 2,000 calories. I know I'm beasting you a bit, lads, but it's just because I care about you, do you know what I mean? Right, the nitty gritty stuff, that's going to be annoying. However, it's worth it. Like I said, he feels that his ability to manage stress is a lot better. Of course it is. Because he's not starving himself without realising. I'm going, there you go, mate. You're a fucking professional athlete. Let's start eating like one. 3,500 calories week 1. He's like, this is amazing. He's able to grapple better, think better, manage stress better, both on and off the mat, within a week. Come on. Who doesn't want this, right? Feel free to copy that meal plan as well and make the adjustments of the weights. But what it requires you to do, right, is create a meal plan for yourself based off calories. Do you know what I mean? All you could say is, you could say to AI, prompt AI to do this, or jump on my program and I'll do it for you. Link is in the description. But I make sure you've got weight training as a foundation as well to improve the strength of your joints, improve your longevity in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's not just about the meal plan. I don't just do one-off meal plans for people, so don't get excited if that's what you're thinking, you little fuckers. Right, so, meal plan. Calorie number, either ask me, I'll do it for you, or get AI and just say, utilising 12 different ingredients, because you don't want it to be 50 ingredients. Oh yeah, look at this, I'm on a meal plan, it's fucking... You don't want it to take about 90 minutes to cook. No, you don't want that. You want it to take 20 minutes max. So, say to AI or say to Google or whatever, with 12 ingredients, provide me with a meal... Watch, I'll even show you. Watch. I'll even friggin' show you. Get rid of that. You've had enough of that now. And you've had enough of that. Friggin' hell. You probably ran off when I even first put that on. Watch it. With 12... Because Google's got AI now. With 12... With 12 ingredients, create me a meal plan for 3,500 calories with 4 meals. This is just proper Billy Basic. Like, this is not... So, core ingredients, making it to a meal plan. Right, so we've got oatmeal and eggs, 900 calories. Meal 2, chicken and rice bowl. Sweet potato. So, do you see what I'm saying? Like, is this hard? In order to improve your energy levels so quickly and reduce your stress, improve your recovery rates, improve your sleep. I could go on. And this is just one client. The video's 20 minutes. I've got fucking loads of them having the same benefits. Again, I work with them on a one-to-one basis, so it's a little bit easier for them just to do what I'm saying, and I'm supporting them every day. A little bit more difficult for you when you're getting pulled from the missus, oh, I've made that. Look, I get it. However, the foundation, if it's like this, then yes, just get this sorted. And I could go back to the slides. Run it for a week, right? Weigh your food, like see the food there? It says the weight, handfuls or whatever you want to do. I prefer just to tell them a weight. Tablespoons, handful of fresh spinach, yeah, whatever, sound, easy, right? Weigh yourself daily. So if your weight is increasing, that means you're in a calorie surplus, right? And just keep going with this weight until it levels out. When it levels out, you're at a point there where you can consider upping it again, giving yourself more calories until you're at your goal weight, because you want to be able to look in the mirror and think, fucking hell, my body's actually filling out here. I don't look as fragile. Because you don't want to be fragile. Weigh yourself daily, because funnily enough, the first number there that I showed you, the calorie calculator, right, is just an estimate. The true art comes in when you make an adjustment and you know when to make an adjustment, and that would basically be you being at your ideal weight or feeling really good. So if you're eating 3,900 calories and you feel amazing and you are at your goal weight, then 3,900 calories wants to probably be what you need to be eating most days to continue that, because data is the foundation. You're weighing yourself daily. However, just to add an extra layer to that, and I'm not going to ask you to do too many things because I know you'll fucking unsubscribe. Monitor your energy levels as well, right? So all I'd recommend is just freaking out. It sounds proper daft, but Monday, 73 kilograms, or if you're American, 163 pounds. Energy levels out of 10, 6. Feel like shit. And then just monitor it for a week. Come on. You're a professional athlete. If your family depends on your body performing well on a consistent basis, should you be taking this more seriously? Be honest. The answer is yes. You know it is, but you've been getting by winging it for too long. It doesn't have to be hard, just a little bit more effort, but the effort is so worth it for the quick benefits that I've just showed you. Most men don't address the mindset issue, which I talked about earlier on, and they end up in different diet cycles: keto, paleo, fruit only, fasting, intermittent fasting. At the end of the day, you're a fucking jiu-jitsu coach. Should be eating a hell of a lot more. And if you don't want to eat more, you're going to feel like shit on a regular basis. And when you feel like shit on a regular basis for years and decades, you believe that to be inevitable. And this very simple thing requires probably a little bit more time out of your day, 10, 15 minutes out of your day, maybe 20 minutes max. It's going to change your life, lads. I mean that, because I've seen it. I do it myself, and my clients are freaking enjoying it as well. Most men don't address the mindset issue and end up in endless diet cycles. Don't be most men. See you tomorrow.